I'm Philip LaRocca, and we're here in Dallas, Texas at Salvation Tattoo. I think that a lot of art in general is storytelling, and there's so many, things that people want to tell. So I've been tattooing for 10 years now. I had been interested in it ever since I was probably about 15 or 16 years old. I think that a lot of trauma that had been, kind of introduced into my life at a young age sort of, maybe made me attracted to some of it, like a desire to feel accepted and to be a part of like some sort of culture was really like something that drew me in. And then as I got older, I started getting tattooed, and then started being drawn more to the art and everything about it and sort of the culture and lifestyle. And I ended up getting a job working for a tattoo shop. I was working in Dallas, and I think just sort of the environment that I was in and sort of the path that my life had sort of taken just kind of came to a sort of a crossroads, and I think it was kind of go down this path, and it was looking pretty dark. I mean, I was definitely in a pretty rough place. I was abusing drugs and alcohol and going through a divorce. I knew that something needed to change, and I wasn't really sure exactly what that is at first, so I think I started sort of removing myself a bit from like the environment that I was in, and kind of re-exploring my faith, and I met someone who is now my wife who reintroduced Christ to me, and so I think that like was a big spark in it, and just this desire. I was like, okay, like this is what the culture here has for, as far as like what tattooing is used to, and I thought, well, like, what, it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, God can be in every place, and it doesn't necessarily have to be only, the most upstanding places, I suppose, and like I remember that it's like Jesus dined with sinners, but he didn't sin with them, and that was like one of the biggest like things that I thought about when I was kind of moving into this direction. I felt called to create a space that existed in this culture but didn't necessarily like feed into as much of it. I wanted to create a place that invited people in, that made people feel welcome, and that hopefully ended up offering something different. Every roadblock that kind of came up, God sort of was like, don't worry, I've got this. It was just incredible how many times like God is faithful. Like he would give me the boldness to speak about it, and always reward me for doing so. It just continues to give me faith and hope, and just trust that that God's moving in places that people would ordinarily think he wouldn't. A lot of people who are lost, I feel like, are looking for an identity and searching for an identity, and so it's easy to get wrapped up in like, well, my identity is like this culture, this art, I'm a tattooer, or I'm heavily tattooed, or whatever. And I think that, God offers salvation from that, when you recognize that it's like, okay, my identity is in Christ, my creator, and, that I am, an image bearer. Like, I think that you can let go of all of that. You can surrender all of the rest of your identity and forget about, like, okay, well, I've got to like look this way, dress this way, act this way, or feel this way. It's like, there's so much comfort in like letting go of all that, I think. And so that was sort of, what I think about and dwell on with the name Salvation, hoping to offer a place, for everybody to find that. God really wants us to be known and be a part of his family. I hope that the story and the future of this place is about like redemption. As for the future of this shop, I just hope that we, continue to be a loving, accepting place, that just welcomes people in and just loves them,